So about 10 months ago, the Itel S24 was launched, and that phone came with a lot of firsts. It was the first time we get a 90 Hz refresh rate on an Itel phone, a 50 megapixel main camera, a USB-C charging port, and even the white color of that phone was changing color, one kind of thing like that. But it was pretty impressive. Now, 10 months down the line, I have with me here the Itel S24. And I can tell you after using this phone for about a week that there are lots of firsts here. For example, the camera has improved from 50 megapixel to 108 megapixel. It also now has a punch hole display, and it also uses a new processor. So let's explore all the features and tech on this phone together. At the end of this video, we should be able to know how much of a worthy upgrade it is when we compare it to the Itel S23. So without wasting too much of your time, let's go. The Itel S24 retains its simple minimalistic look like we had with the S23. It's a simple circular camera module that, like I said before, houses a much improved camera. In a bit, we're going to see how good these cameras actually perform. Both the rear and the side of this phone is made from plastic, as you would expect. And apart from this camera module right here, every other part of the rear has a matte finishing. So you will not be struggling with prints and dust stains and all of that. I have this starry black color with me here. So really there is nothing like color changing magic something right here. Surprisingly, this phone also comes with dual speakers, which sounds very well, or should I say triple speakers, because even though you block the speakers at the top and bottom of this phone, you will still be able to hear the audio from the core speaker right here. And honestly, the audio sounds really good. You also get a dedicated 3.5mm headphone jack, even though you don't get the wired earpiece in the package. We had it last year. The fingerprint scanner is still situated at the side, which makes it really faster and more secure. You also get the face unlock option that works really well even in low lighting conditions. The only inconvenience I get is how the screen brightens up so well, obviously when it's trying to scan your face in a dark environment. Storage option on this device is still 128 gig like we had last year, and it is expandable, so yeah, up to about 512 gigabytes. Now, at the point when I was making this video, the pricing wasn't out, but I'll definitely have it in a pinned comment in the comment section below. Now, let's talk about some upgrades. The first visible upgrade you will see over the Itel S23 of last year is in the display. No, we're still getting the same 720 pixel resolution IPS screen. We're still getting the same 90 Hz refresh rate, but this time around, we're actually getting a punch hole cutout instead of the teardrop notch that we have. So the 6.6 inches screen that we have here looks a little bit aesthetically pleasing than what we had with the Itel S23 of last year. Now the colors it displays are very sharp and well represented. On YouTube, I was able to watch videos up to 1440 pixel, which is pretty impressive for an entry-level device like this one. Like I said before, the refresh rate is 90. That is like the cap. You can actually switch between 60 or just put it in auto switch, which is like the best option, so that it has very minimal effect on the battery of your phone. Now there is also the ultra touch settings in display, where you can actually improve further on the swipe and motion speed as you are surfing your phone for a much better experience. Now, what you also get on the Itel S24 is a faster charging than the Itel S23, because now we have an 18 watt fast charger and no longer 10 watt. Though it still takes well over 1 hour 30 minutes to charge the 5000 mAh battery that this phone comes with. But I can tell you that once it is fully charged, it will take you a day and even more, depending on your usage, obviously. But the thing I can tell you is that the battery on this phone is very strong. And also, it has AI Smart Charge and bypass charging. And these are two very important settings you want to turn on for better battery life management of your phone. Now, this is another bonus tip. When you get this phone, just go to settings and search for tapping wake. Turn it on so that you can be able to do this. Double tap to turn on the screen and double tap to turn it off. Now, the Android version on here is Android 13. I really wish it was Android 14, even if it's the Go edition. And on top of it, we have the Itel OS version 13.5. Now, the software experience isn't so clean as you would expect because there are lots of bloatware applications, but it is not a deal breaker because you can actually decide to just uninstall them if you want. I can't tell if you'll be getting any further Android updates on this device, but I'm not really expecting it. So if it comes, it will be a huge bonus. Now let's talk about two major aspects where I feel Itel made some very bold statements with this phone. The first is the performance. But before we talk about it, how about if you hit the subscribe button right now? Like, that would be a bold statement from you that I really would appreciate. And also like this video so that more people get to see it. Thanks. Now, last year, when it comes to performance, we had the Unisoc processor, actually the Unisoc T606 processor that I want to say it's a fairly good enough entry-level processor for any phone. But now we're actually getting the Helio G91 MediaTek processor. Now, if this is the first time you are hearing about it, it's actually fine because it is a new processor, which according to MediaTek can support up to a 108 megapixel camera and a 90 Hz refresh rate. It has the same wired configuration like the 12 nanometer MediaTek Helio G88 and G85. So that gives you a very good idea of how strong or how not so strong the processor is. So we can see that Itel actually maximized this processor on this device. Now, clocked with the Mali G52 GPU, this phone will be able to definitely play all of your games and titles smoothly, but not in that desired graphics level that you may want. So I would say performance on here is fairly decent, but a lot better when you compare it with what we had with the Itel S23. I only played Asphalt 9 on this device. It didn't get to heat up at all. I just felt a little increase in temperature around this camera bump right here, but other than that, it was okay. The gameplay was smooth and everything was fine. My unit also comes with 4 gigs of RAM that can be extended up to 8 GB using memory fusion, so you can have better fluidity and smoothness when you are using this phone. Now, the second aspect I want to talk about is in the cameras. Like I already mentioned, we get a massive 108 megapixel main camera and an AI camera. At the front is an 8 megapixel sensor. That's a very huge gap, 108 to 8. I wish it was a 16 or 32, but that is all we get. Now, for the past 1 week, I have been flexing the camera of this phone, and I'm going to now show you some samples of the pictures I took so you can see how well it does when it comes to color and dynamic range processing. This is the back camera of the Itel X24. Like I said, it comes with a 108 megapixel camera, and we can actually shoot at 2K 30 frames per second highest. Now, what do you think about the quality of the video, the audio also, and of course, how is it handling dynamic range? I know it will be impressive. I can't see it right now, but let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Okay, so now this is how the video looks like at 1080 pixel, 30 frames per second. Obviously less quality compared to the 2K, but what about the audio? Is it better? Just let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you. Okay, so this is the front camera of the Itel X24. Currently shooting at 2K, which honestly, for an 8 megapixel camera, being able to shoot at 2K is, well, it's quite impressive. And I think it boils down to the processor, the Helio G91, and it's very okay. Dynamic range is fine, you can't complain about it. And also, I love the skin tones. But what about the audio quality? What do you think? Let me have your thoughts in the comment section below. I love this environment. Now I'm shooting at 1080p. Let me see. Yeah, 1080p. Is there any difference in the video? Well, not really, of course. The only difference is in the details, you know, that is able to capture. 2K is always better, but is the audio different? I can't really tell. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you. So, in a nutshell, what do I think about this phone? I'll say Itel once again made a bold statement with this phone. There are huge upgrades in very important areas like the processor and the cameras. A simple, nice looking design, a vibrant display, and even NFC. So the phone really checks all the boxes you may have when it comes to budget entry level phones. So yeah, I would definitely be recommending this phone to anybody. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, subscribing to the channel would be awesome. I'll see you again.